Hey, so the question we had today was about doubles defense and when those days are happening where you feel like you just can't quite react well to the smashes. So what sort of things can we do sort of in the moment to make sure that we're able to return the smashes, at least get a racket on it, right? So I'll just touch on a couple basics first. So first off, if I'm on my racket side of the court, where the down the line is the straight, if the lift is straight, I'll have my racket foot slightly back so I have a bit more space to hit here. But most important is that I'm facing where the shuttle is coming from, wherever the lift goes. So if the lift is straight, I'm shifting over here, look at the straight. If the lift is cross, I'm shifting closer to the middle and I'm angling towards the lift. So first thing that we can do is just make sure that we're getting ourselves in position right away. So if we're hitting those lifts or our partner's hitting that lift, that we're getting back and getting into position right away. So that's the first step, get into position. Second step is just to make sure that the racket's ready. So one thing that I often see is that the racket sits very much off to the side, and then when we get smashed at, we end up having to lift the racket up and hit. And so our reaction time has to be faster because we have to have more movement. So get that racket head center of the body, get nice and low. The next step is if you're really having trouble sort of just touching the shuttle, instead of sort of having just our racket out here, we can actually just angle our strings towards where the lift went. We maybe don't have the power to counterattack as well, but at least we can just move a little bit quicker and just touch the shuttle. And sometimes if we're having a bad day, we can just sort of take those steps to make sure that we're at least able to touch the shuttle, right? While we might want to be able to counterattack, if we're maybe not in that position, if we maybe feel like, man, these smashes are just going through me, just get those strings facing forward towards wherever the lift is, and that will allow us just to play those blocks. So at least we can block the shuttle and move in. The next thing that we can do if we're feeling like the shuttle is just coming too fast is we can take a little bit of a step back. So if I'm normally in this position defending, maybe I take a step back here just to give myself a little bit more time. So those are some sort of simple, easy things that we can do just to give ourselves a bit more space and time to make sure we're at least touching the shuttle. Especially in doubles, we don't want to end up just like having smashes go through us all the time. So make sure we're in position. Make sure our feet are in position too. If we're angled with our racket foot too much forward or angled too much the other way, we might be getting jammed up. So we can be a bit more neutral with the feet. Make sure we're facing the shuttle. We can get those strings facing our opponent or the shuttle just so that we can at least react to the smashes a bit quicker. And then we can just back up a little bit just to give ourselves a bit more space and time to defend. So that's the biggest thing. Again, try to be a bit more backhand dominant. We can defend a lot with the backhand if we give ourselves some space in here. Whereas if we're a bit too forehand dominant, this having to change is too slow. So making sure we're starting in that backhand position. And if we're really struggling, just make sure we're keeping the feet a bit active. So we're readjusting with every lift. If we're too static, we might just feel like we're not able to react quickly. So keep those feet moving, stay active in the feet, and that will just help give us a bit more time and space to react. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Cheers.